Camilla Sutton, CEO of Women in Capital Markets. I did want to thank KPMG. I also wanted just to point out a few people in the room. Lindsay Walton, who runs the program, is in the corner here. We also are really lucky to have one of our co-chairs of Mentorship Program today, Melissa, right near the front of the room, who's been one of our co-chairs for several years now, but involved with the Mentorship Program for 5 or 6 years at least. And we also have both of our co-chairs of our Toronto chapter, Priya and Deb, are also here. So it's great. We have a lot of WCM supporters and volunteers who really are the ones that run a lot of the programming for us. I was just going to talk for about 5 minutes and give you a quick rundown of the program. I wanted just to highlight one thing, is that we're moving into Return to Bay Street program, which is a returnship that together all the banks, Ontario Teachers, and Mackenzie, Manulife together support, and it's about bringing women who stepped away from the industry for a few years back into the industry. And the number one way that the women who come back to the industry find out about Return to Bay Street is through word of mouth. So that's all of you spreading the word. It really is a fabulous returnship. So if you do know anyone who's thinking about returning to our industry, please do highlight to them that it's Return to Bay Street time. And with that, I'll move to our mentorship at WCM. This is one of our founding programs. So this year, WCM celebrates 25 years, which is really exciting for us. The mentorship program was started in 1998. I was part of it in 1999. And so it's in its 13th year. It's part formal and part informal, so you'll get a better sense of that. This is our biggest cohort yet. So we have 140 professional pairs, so that's 280 participants altogether. It's national, so it's in every one of our chapter cities, so Victoria, Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary, and Toronto. We also have different streams of it. One of the streams that we're really most proud of is the Advanceability stream, which is for professionals with disabilities. I think both of our co-chairs are here tonight, Jason and Roslyn, who run that side. But that is a really unique program and something that we're very proud of. And we also run a student mentorship program with many of you are mentors in that program as well. And that this year we have 106 pairs, so over 200 participants all in all. So mentoring is certainly at the root of a lot of WCM. I have a slide here on mentorship. I'll highlight to you that a lot of this is in the mentorship handbook that you received when you got your pairing emails. You know, I think to us it's really about sharing and problem solving, reflecting and building. I think some of the best mentors certainly that I've had have been ones that have really asked me questions and kind of challenged me to provoke some of my own answers. But it really is an extremely important piece overall. Just to give you a quick outline, it's 12 months. The formal part is quite formal. We have the kickoff event tonight. The Facet 5, which is like a professional personality test. All of the proteges will write that. All of the proteges will have a debriefing session on that. We encourage proteges to share that information with their mentor, only because it's interesting in the mentorship relationship to really understand your protege a bit better. And then we have 2 skill builds, and then we close the whole program with a speed mentoring event in September or October. The informal part is really about you and your mentor connecting. We encourage all proteges to share their resume, the career plan, and their Facet 5 with their mentor. We really encourage you to get to know each other. In the mentorship handbook, there's some hints and ideas about how to run some of those meetings as you run through. But it's useful sometimes to have some goal setting embedded within the mentorship program. And then also it's useful to schedule a finale meeting, and whether you decide to carry on your relationship outside the program is up to you. We have some tips for proteges. Use your active listening skills. Ensure that you review your Facet 5. Be really prepared to ask for specific advice on some of your skill sets. Make it easy for your mentor to give you feedback. And if you get some corrective feedback, it's always good to listen. You don't have It's always good to listen at a minimum. And tips for mentors, certainly creating an environment built on trust is important. Establishing some purpose to the relationship overall. Also being an active listener, providing some perspective and sharing your experience are all really important components. I think sometimes what mentors forget is how much experience they've actually built and how they've actually been able to navigate their own firms and how much of the political strategy that they now understand that they probably didn't understand 10 years ago. And those are really important pieces. Often when I talk about mentorship, I share a personal story of my own because I think it really highlights what a good mentor does. And at one point in my career when my kids were really little and life felt a little bit wild, I went to my mentor and really said, you know, I don't even know who's picking the kids up at school. This is just a bad plan. Something's going to give. And he really easily in that moment could have told me, well, you have this big role and you probably should just transition over into some other space that has set hours. But he really knew me and he knew that would not be something that would fit my personality, as many of you in this room would know. And instead he was like, come on, this stage of your life lasts about 5 minutes. Hang in there for at least 6 months to a year and then really start thinking about it. And that was really good, and he could have never given me that advice had he not known me. It would have been much easier for him to try to solve the problem that was put in front of him and tell me you need to go over and move into a regulatory space, it's growing and it has set hours. And so that was like a really important learning for me in terms of mentorship that I share with you as a story. Lastly, if you have any problems, you can call Lindsay. I do answer my phone, but then I ask Lindsay what should we do. We are here to help. If there's any problems with your mentor protege, any questions you have that aren't answered in the handbook, we really are here to help and support the relationship. Mentorship is critically important to many in the industry, and so it's a really important piece. This year, one of our co-chairs introduced a new pairing method that we were actually able to pair you with an algorithm. So Lindsay and I are curious to see how this worked. Lindsay got to brush up on her own Python in order to do all the pairings. But it actually tries to take away a lot of the bias that even we might have had with pairing. So we're really hopeful that this will be not only our biggest cohort, but one of our most successful. With that was all I really planned to say. I hope everyone stays tonight, and for those of you who mentors and proteges around the room, I hope you've been able to meet. If you haven't, you can come ask Lindsay or myself, and we can at least attempt to guide you. And with that, I hope everybody enjoys the evening, and thank you very much for your support.